A wave of tension swept across the Middle East when reports began to emerge indicating that Iranian forces had launched missiles toward one of Israel's most strategically important military installations, the Nevatim airbase. Iranian state media quickly announced what they described as a powerful and successful strike, claiming that their missile had hit the base and inflicted serious damage on critical infrastructure. According to Iranian officials, the operation was intended to demonstrate that Israel's most important military installations were no longer out of reach of Iranian strike capabilities. The statement immediately drew worldwide attention because Nevatim Air Base is not simply an Israeli military installation. Moreover, located in the heart of the Negev desert in southern Israel, the base is widely regarded as one of the most vital components of the Israeli Air Force's operational structure. It houses some of Israel's most advanced aircraft and plays a central role in long-range missions, intelligence coordination, and strategic air operations. Because of its importance, any strike targeting Nevatim instantly becomes a major geopolitical event. The Iranian version. Iranian media began broadcasting statements from military commanders describing the strike as a precise operation against a critical Israeli military target. According to these reports, several long-range missiles were launched towards southern Israel during the operation. Iranian officials insisted that the missiles specifically targeted the Nevatim base because of its strategic importance within Israel's defense network. In the Iranian narrative, the strike represented a turning point in the confrontation. Officials claimed that multiple missiles had hit the base and caused serious damage to key sections of the installation. Iranian commentators suggested that the operation demonstrated their ability to bypass Israeli defense systems and strike deep inside Israeli territory. According to these claims, the attack showed that even Israel's best-protected military installations could be threatened. For Iran, this message carries considerable symbolic value, demonstrating the ability to reach high-value targets inside Israel, reinforces the perception of deterrence, and signals that the confrontation has crossed a new threshold. But the story was about to become more complicated. The Israeli and American version. In the hours following the Iranian announcements, Israeli officials began presenting a radically different version of events. According to Israeli authorities, the country's advanced air defense network had detected the incoming missiles well before they could reach their target. Israel operates a sophisticated multi-layered missile defense architecture designed to intercept threats at different stages of flight. These systems include long-range interceptors, capable of destroying ballistic missiles before their final descent, as well as additional layers intended to neutralize shorter-range threats. Israeli defense officials stated that once the missiles were detected, the defensive systems were activated immediately. Interceptors were launched to neutralize the incoming threats before they could reach the base. According to Israeli sources, several missiles were intercepted in flight, preventing any major damage to the Nevatim base. American media echoed this version of events. Reports citing defense officials indicated that the defensive systems had functioned as intended and prevented catastrophic damage to the base. While debris from intercepted missiles may have fallen in nearby areas, Israeli officials insisted that Nevatim's core infrastructure remained intact and operational. The gap between the narratives. This striking contrast between Iranian declarations and Israeli claims immediately created a zone of uncertainty. On one side, Iran was presenting the strike as a major military success. On the other, Israel and American media were emphasizing the effectiveness of the air defense systems that had protected the base. Such situations are common during periods of conflict. Competing narratives emerge systematically, with each side seeking to shape public perception and reinforce its strategic message. For Iran, presenting the strike as a success demonstrates strength and capability. For Israel, insisting on successful interceptions reinforces confidence in its defensive systems and reassures the public about the security of critical infrastructure. Between these two narratives lies a complex reality that analysts are still working to understand. Why Nevatim changes everything. To fully grasp why a strike on Nevatim matters so much, one must understand the role this base plays in Israel's military structure. Nevatim is one of the most important installations of the Israeli Air Force. It has been associated with the most advanced aircraft programs and plays a key role in long-range operational planning. The base supports several squadrons and is equipped with facilities designed to accommodate some of the most sophisticated aircraft in Israel's arsenal. This is why it is considered a pillar of Israel's strategic air power. Any attack targeting such an installation carries significant implications. Iranian officials appeared fully aware of this importance when they described the strike. In statements broadcast on Iranian media channels, military spokespeople suggested that targeting Nevatim was intended to demonstrate the vulnerability of Israel's most important military assets. The message was unambiguous. No place is entirely out of reach. Israeli officials firmly rejected this interpretation, emphasizing that the country's multi-layered defense network is precisely designed to protect strategic installations like Nevatim. The technological arms race at the heart of modern warfare. A critical factor in these situations is the speed of modern missile defense systems. Once a threat is detected, interception decisions must be made within seconds. Radar systems track missile trajectories, and interception systems calculate the optimal point to engage them. When everything works correctly, the interceptor destroys the incoming missile before it reaches its target. This technological arms race between offensive and defensive systems is one of the defining characteristics of modern warfare. Offensive systems are designed to go farther, faster, and with greater precision. Defensive systems are designed to detect and neutralize these threats before impact. The alleged strike on Nevatim perfectly illustrates this dynamic. Iran claims its missiles hit the base. Israel insists the missiles were intercepted. Both sides present narratives aligned with their strategic interests. Implications beyond the base. Even if the missiles were intercepted before reaching their target, the act of launching them carries strategic significance in itself. It demonstrates both capability and intent. In the broader context of the confrontation between Iran and Israel, such actions contribute to an escalation cycle that can quickly become difficult to control. Regional governments began monitoring the situation closely. Any direct missile exchange between major regional powers raises concerns about broader instability. Financial markets also began to react cautiously. Although the strike targeted a military installation rather than energy infrastructure, instability in the Middle East often affects global markets. Energy traders, investors, and policymakers are following developments in the region carefully, as disruptions can ripple through the global economy. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels began working quietly behind the scenes. International leaders generally call for restraint during moments of heightened tension, aware that any further escalation could have serious consequences. Conclusion. For observers around the world, the truth may eventually emerge through careful analysis of available data, including satellite images captured after the incident that analysts are examining for any visible damage to the base's runways, hangars, or infrastructure. But regardless of which narrative proves to be the most accurate, the incident itself highlights the fragile balance that prevails in the region. Strategic military installations like Nevatim represent critical assets. When they become targets of missile strikes, the implications extend far beyond the immediate event. They influence military planning, diplomatic relations, and public perception of security. History shows that moments like this one can become tipping points. Even if defensive systems prevent physical damage, the psychological and strategic effects of such attacks can redefine the dynamics of a conflict. For now, Nevatim Air Base remains at the center of global attention. Iran maintains that its missiles struck a key Israeli target, Israel maintains that its defenses protected the base. Between these competing narratives lies a story the world is still trying to understand. And as tensions continue to unfold across the Middle East, the strike on Nevatim, whether interpreted as a successful attack or a defended target, remains a powerful reminder of how quickly the security landscape can shift. This content is commentary and analysis for informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, legal, or geopolitical advice. Always consult qualified experts before making decisions based on this information.